Alhamdulillah, that gave us the chance to meet again in your masjid in this beautiful day of Ramadan, at this special time between Maghrib and Isha, Salat al-Taraweeh. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all of us and make us of those who are always concerned to enhance the Iman and make it fruitful and productive. Before I go on, I would like to thank you all, but especially those who have provided for us the iftar. May they be a family or a group of families. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala treat them in Jannah. Ameen. This is a great sunnah that we all should follow suit. Because the Muslims, even in the early days of our history, they were always keen in order to share the iftar. So Ramadan is the month that gives us chance to share a lot with each other. First of all, we share in our Salat al-Taraweeh, we share in our iftars, we share in durus or lectures or halaqat, we share of course in our dua, prayers, and this is pleasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Especially when you bring your children here, because they have to have a model or an example to follow suit. And if we don't provide for them this model, they will just, feel left alone or aloof. Because we have come from different parts of the world. As children, we grew up in families that were concerned about Islam. And our parents and grandparents were always keen in helping us to make ourselves of those who understand the love for Allah, the love for Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the love for Islam, the love for Ummah and humanity at large. So we are here in this country, not in a picnic. We are here by the wisdom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we are here to stay. In order to stay and have a healthy stay, to secure ourselves, we have to fortify ourselves. We have to strengthen ourselves, mean what? Iman and faith. There's a hadith that says about Ramadan, من صام رمضان إيمانا واحتسابا غفر له ما تقدم من ذنب. Whoever fasts Ramadan with true Iman, true faith, and does not seek its reward from no one else but from Allah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive the sins. So the point is here, we have two elements in here. We have Ben Sama Ramadan Imanan. Try to fast Ramadan with true Iman. Iman is what? A faith that we undertake the task that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us with sabr, patience, with hope, with strength. And this will lead us to be strong Muslims. Because fasting is not an easy task. It is difficult. And we all know that. But it is so noble that when we finish the time of iftar, that we feel so good and great that we made it. It's like those who compete, like a marathon, that they compete and everybody wants to be the first one, and when they reach the finishing line, they feel so good. But here, as Muslims, as believers in Allah, we feel this every iftar. But it is very important that to accompany our iftar, or the time of iftar with dua, with supplication, with prayer. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, 3 people, when they make dua, their dua will not be rejected. First of all is Imam al-Adil, the Imam, righteous Imam. Of course, the Imam of the Masjid, the Shaykh, of course, and the Imam, everybody is Imam of himself or herself. Then the family has an Imam. Then society that we live. So the second one is what? Al-Madloom, the oppressed one. The one who is oppressed, who lives under oppression. And there is no hijab, there is no curtain between him and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we have all these tools to use them, utilize them to strengthen our iman right there before the iftar. And the third one is as-saim and the iftar. This fasting person at the time of iftar. Some people, I see them because I go, alhamdulillah, to a lot of masajids. I know they're hungry and thirsty, but it's not noble, it is not good gesture, approach. You don't approach iftar as a hungry man. You should approach iftar as a man who has conquered hunger for a noble cause. But if you approach iftar with the sense of because you're hungry and thirsty and you want to grab it and get it, and you forget even to make dua for yourself, leave alone other people, that's a little barakah in it. As-saim al-iftar, the fasting person at the time of iftar. Iftar comes, take the water or juice, or I see people lying there. Yani ya akhi, ya ukhti, brothers and sisters, it is much better for us to pray 2 rakats or more sunnah or more than that, instead of standing there for half an hour to get your share. You're standing there half an hour. Why not pray 2 rakats or contemplate or think about your life and your day, how the day went by, what did you do? Kind of an inventory, kind of a hisab, a nafs. You just go there and wait online for half an hour or so, and at the end and maybe feel bad because somebody may break the line or something. And so why? This is why Rasulullah has given us, of course, the reflection of the Quran, patience, sabr. If we don't obtain this, believe me, we're just going to fast, be hungry, and won't gain little. So this is why as-saim al-iftar. So you go there, the time of iftar, get the water or juice or date or belah or tamar, whatever you call it. So then, bismillah, make dua, even a short dua, of course for yourselves. We start with ourselves, family, larger family, extended family, community, masjid, for each other. The dua is so important. The dua makes miracles. The dua is that breaks the shackles of shackled people. But those who are concerned about this is why Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, "Man la yahtam bi amr al-muslimin falaysa minhum." Those who don't pay heed, don't care about affairs of Muslims. About what? Even if somebody is talking, even if you don't like that, out of courtesy, you be quiet. Or you do something that it will help you and help the others. So we have to be concerned about each other, especially about our children. You all have come like me, or most of us, from old countries. I am from Albania, same city that the Imam came from. But he is, of course, much, much younger. We have come here not because we were smart or lucky. This is hikmah rabbaniyah. It's a heavenly wisdom. It's Allah's will and wisdom that brought us here, in this very city of ours, Phoenix, Arizona. Not because smart and we got it like this. This is Allah's will. What are we going to do with this? Yes, alhamdulillah, we came from all countries. We came with some, knowledge about Islam. We used to fast. We used to pray, Ramadan, this and that. What about this is small capital. So with that capital, you cannot start a new capital that is your children. You have to have enough capital. If you ask an expert about business, he will ask you, how much do you have? I have this much. And what you aiming to do? What are you good in it? Will I open a restaurant? And he will calculate because he knows all things. He will say it's not enough. What are you going to do? Borrow. Borrow where? The bank. The bank is interest. Riba. So what you do now here, you have little capital teaching your children. So what are you going to do? You're going to borrow from where? From the culture of other people. So you bring something which is strange to what where you're brought of, and you bring that in, and it's not healthy. And you will end up thinking that you're doing good business with your children, but you are not doing, because it's not healthy capital. It's not healthy food that you're doing. The children, this little boy here, may Allah bless him and his father, his mother. It is so great to see now he's sitting here. He could have gone out and play and run and jump like the children do. Maybe he fasted, I don't know, Allahu Alam. He'll fast some days. This is how we were taught by our parents. But where is our concern here? If we don't do this, believe me, we will regret. And the time will be very, very, very close. Because we are not doing enough. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu qu anfusakum wa ahlikum nara. Straightforward. Or you have reached the level of Iman, believers, because there are so many Muslims, but not all of them come to pray. Not all of them, but you, inshallah, are from mu'mineen, people who have reached the level, a higher level, higher Iman. Or you have reached this Iman. It's both genders, not just, when you say Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, includes both genders, not just men. Qu anfusakum, imperative verb, order, protect yourselves and your families from the fire of Jahannam. How do you do that? If you are not fortified, if you don't have enough capital to do this business, you will fail. Then you will end up borrowing in order to do that business that's called educating your children. So Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam was very keen in educating his children, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, from the very beginning. Even Sayyidina Ali radiallahu anhu, who was held by him, who grew up in the threshold of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, was taught by him. And when Rasulullah asked about, because he was, young, very young, and then to enter Islam, so he said, I want to enter Islam. Rasulullah didn't say like some people that when he say I want to become enter certain religion, they will be, okay, go ahead, do it. Yes, just come. No. Rasulullah said what? Go and ask your father. So he went, respecting the Rasul and also respecting the father. So he went there, and as he was going, he returned back. And Rasulullah said, did you go there? He said, no. Why should I go there? Why should I ask my father that should I believe in Allah or not? Who has created me? Who has given me everything? Who has everything in his hands? Why should I? Why did he do that? Where did he get that guts, that courage, that dignity as a little boy to have this kind of a stand from the teaching of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? This is how we should teach our children. This is how we should do them. We should bring them to the masjid not to force them, but to make this journey that's something they will like to come here. But you have to make it well. You have to use the capital. So I kindly urge you and myself. Ramadan has a purpose. Allah has a purpose. Ramadan is a tool that Allah has given us to make us not Ramadani, people of Ramadan. Ramadan comes, mashallah, we're all okay. People of Allah, Rabbaniyin. Allah calls us Rabbaniyin. Kunu Rabbaniyin. Be people of God, be of Allah. Not just you, but your family, and think about your generations to come. What are you going to plant today? What are you going to do today? It's going to be reaped tomorrow from first generation, second generation. Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam made dua about the people to be sent there, and to send there someone to call them to Allah, to Islam, 2,000 some years before the birth of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the dua is important. We have to understand it. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our siyam, accept our Quran, our salat, accept our good deeds, and forgive us, grant us rahmah, maghfirah, wa itqu min an-nar, and make us of those who are always eager to work with each other, to work together for the sake of Allah. And there is no better time than Ramadan to show this. But this not should end with Ramadan. This should go on beyond Ramadan. May Allah grant us Ramadan, grant us to witness Laylatul Qadr, grant us to witness Eid and many Ramadans to come. Wa akhir da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Wa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam ala ahlihi wa sahbihin. Thank you very much. Shukran jazilan. I thank the Imam, and believe me, and not because I'm not saying because Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam prevents us from from complimenting each other, but you are lucky to have him here. So don't take for granted his presence, his knowledge. Ulamas are like clouds. They pass by, they drop water, but they don't stay. You don't see clouds staying there. It may pour raining for a while, but they go away somewhere else. So make good use of that rain. That is the barakah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Thank you so much.
Shaykh Burhan, we thank you so much for the beautiful words of wisdom that you shared with every one of us, and we pray that Allah accepts his efforts
Ameen.
to come over here and to visit us all the way from Detroit, and he rewards every one of you who are listening to his wisdom tonight. Barakallahu feek, Shaykh.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.